In this video I want to share 10 mistakes that I did walking the Camino de Santiago or I watched other pilgrims make and how to actually avoid them. Welcome to this video guys, I'm Chris, I'm from Germany, I love hiking and I've been blogging about my Camino journey. I've been publishing some ebooks to how to prepare, you can find them in the video description. And in this video I want to talk about specific topics and mistakes that a lot of pilgrims do walking the Camino de Santiago, mostly beginners, but not only beginners. And maybe if you watch this video to the end, you can actually avoid doing some of these mistakes and it will save you from some pain, I can guarantee. The first mistake a lot of pilgrims do, especially beginners, is they carry too much weight in their backpacks. And this is a very classic mistake. I have to say I also did it. And the problem is it can lead to serious back pain, neck pain if you have too much weight in your backpack and you are not used to walk with so much weight on your shoulders, on your back each day for, I don't know, 20-25 kilometers. So my advice would be to actually really pack minimalistic and optimize your packing list. There's going to be a video about packing list on this channel too. And actually when you finished packing, just put everything in your backpack and go for a walk outside your house for half an hour and see how your body reacts to this test. If you already get some kind of back pain, neck pain, you know it's too much stuff, it's way too heavy, you have to put something out. If not, then maybe you're okay. For me, I actually went on the Camino de Santiago and after 3 days or so, I really had some back pain because I had too much stuff in my back. So I had to get something out and send it back to Germany, to my home country. And this is a mistake I've seen a lot of people do on the Camino. And there is actually a rule that the backpack and the stuff inside should not be more than 10% of your total body weight. So this is something to focus on, to follow as a rule. And maybe this will help you figure out your packing list. The second mistake pilgrims do on the Camino de Santiago is that they start too fast, they start too quickly. What do I mean by this? The first 2, 3 or 4 days of your pilgrimage is a very special time because your body and your mind has to get used to this walking daily and being in a different environment and having a huge backpack with a lot of stuff inside, you know, on your back. And this takes some time and it's actually good to start with not too many kilometers and after a few days to actually build it up and add more kilometers to your daily distances you walk. So you give your body the time to actually get used to it. And I've seen pilgrims who did not do this at all, especially on challenging routes like Camino del Norte in North Spain. They were actually not trained very well before they started and then they walked like 30 or more kilometers the first days, each day. And some people really had serious injuries or pain with feet, with knees, with the back, the legs, the neck. And a few people even had to stop the whole journey. So to avoid this, I would really suggest start by not walking too many kilometers on the first 3 days. Maybe just do like 15 or 20 kilometers, maybe even just 12 kilometers. It depends on how fit you are, how well trained you are. You know yourself, just be realistic, and then after a few days you can see that you can increase your kilometers every day because your body gets used to it, you get condition and it won't be a problem then. The third mistake a lot of pilgrims do on the Camino de Santiago is they do not train before they start. And this is not a problem if you do a lot of sports on a regular basis, like go swimming, go running or cycling like every second day in your daily life. But if you don't move a lot in your daily life and you start walking the Camino Santiago, it's actually good to train before starting. And I would suggest to start maybe 3 months in front before your journey starts, and at least once a week go for a hike somewhere in your region and just see how much you can walk without it being too difficult for you. And each time you go, every week, try to keep the distance and maybe add a little bit, like half a kilometer or more, or 1 kilometer to the whole distance. And do this at least once a week and you will get better and better. And when the Camino starts, the change will not be too heavy for you. Mistake number 4 I see a lot of pilgrims do on the Camino de Santiago is they compare themselves to other pilgrims. And this is often not a good idea, because when we compare ourselves, you know this, everybody knows this, I know it too, we usually compare ourselves to people who are better in a specific way, and you forget that people have different conditions, a different level, how much they can walk, and not everybody is the same, not everybody has the same body. So what happens when you compare yourself, you suffer, you push yourself too hard, you actually kind of leave yourself and you don't walk your Camino. And this is not what Camino Santiago is for, you know. We actually challenge ourselves so much in daily life, in our jobs, and I think if we do the Camino Santiago, it should be a fun adventure. It will be hard anyways, you know, don't get me wrong, but it's actually a chance to really get in touch with yourself better, to actually find out what you want, what you need, how many kilometers is good for you on the day, and not compare yourself too much to other people. Mistake number 5 I've seen a lot of people do on the Camino Santiago is they don't communicate their needs. And what I mean by this is the Camino is actually an invitation to learn about yourself and to find out how fast, how slow you want to walk, when to make a break and when to continue walking, and to whom you want to talk to and to whom you don't want to talk. And sometimes it's not so easy on the Camino to actually tell people, no, I want to make a break, just please go on and we will see each other later on, or I want to actually go faster than you walk, so maybe we can meet later on. Or I don't want to talk to you so much now, I need some time on my own. But it's not so easy, but it's actually a good practice to start doing this, to feel what you want, what your needs are, and to start to communicate this to other pilgrims. And I really had problems with this in the beginning. And when I started doing this, I felt a lot better, because it was like some kind of release, and I was surprised people were not pissed if you tell them, hey, I actually need a break now, or I need like 1 hour on my own to actually reflect on some stuff and we can meet later on in the next village or in the albergue tonight. People were not pissed actually. And if they are pissed, it's actually their problem, it's not your problem. But we care too much about what others think. We are sometimes afraid to tell them what we want. And of course, this is not easy. But I found out that walking the Camino Santiago can be a very good training field to actually start. First of all, feeling your needs, and second, start to telling this to others. Mistake number 6 a lot of people do on the Camino Santiago is they miss the albergue experience. And what I mean by this is they actually just go to hotels all the time because they are afraid of they might not get a bed in albergue, or they might not have a good sleep because some people could be like snoring or whatever. And I can understand it that having a hotel room with a private sphere and having your own time can be very good to your body and your mind from time to time. And I also do this from time to time. But there's also a gift probably if you go to albergues, because you get a chance to meet a lot of really nice and beautiful people. You get the chance to actually get tips from people for the next days on the Camino. And you maybe find a friend even to walk together for the next days. And a lot of these pilgrims are in the albergues, and since there are a lot of people there, the chance that you actually find someone to match with, to connect, is actually quite high. So I would suggest at least give it a try every now and then to go to an albergue instead of an hotel. And if it does not work for you, if it's a bad experience and you did it 2 or 3 times, then you know it's just not working for you. But I can guess that maybe it will be a good experience and you will be surprised. So mistake number 7 a lot of pilgrims do on the Camino de Santiago is they expect to be alone there. And this is probably not be working if you walk in the summer months from June, July, August, September, May, also sometimes late spring. And especially the holiday season, there will be a lot of pilgrims. Doesn't matter which route you walk. And it's actually good to be a little bit prepared for this. And you should not forget that there are routes which are not so highly frequented by people, like the Camino del Norte, for example. But there are also not so many albergues on these routes. So the albergues which are there, they are also quite crowded, you know. Mistake number 8 a lot of pilgrims do walking the Camino Santiago is they don't actually pay enough attention to their feet and shoes. And this is really essential, because if your feet won't work, how can you walk on the Camino Santiago, you know? And you need them every day. So really take care of them. Take care of good shoes. The shoes should be bigger than your shoes you wear in daily life at home. At least half a number. They should be bigger, because from walking several hours every day, your feet actually expand in the shoes. They get a little bit bigger and they need this space, you know. If not, then chances are you get pain in your feet, you get blisters and so on, or you get knee pain. And it's actually good to take care of your feet and your shoes. The shoes should be waterproof, of course, and you should try them on a lot before you start walking the Camino Santiago. They don't have to be so heavy. You can have light hiking boots, but you should actually check the right size for them. And mistake number 9 a lot of pilgrims do on the Camino Santiago, and this is also natural. They try to plan everything in advance and try to take full control of what will happen there. And this is okay, but the downside of this is that you're not open to the magic of the moment and to surprising gifts you may receive walking the Camino Santiago. And I don't suggest planning nothing if you're like the type who needs control in some way and organize, and I can fully understand this. But maybe try to plan just a little bit and leave some space for actually spontaneous moments and changes and spontaneous decisions walking there. So you may actually make the experience that being fully present in the moment can be a great feeling, and that if you don't know what happens next, it may be a good thing happening. And to actually prepare for this, you need to be open and not be planning everything in advance. And mistake number 10, a lot of pilgrims do on the Camino de Santiago, is they expect their return home to be easy. And from my experience and from the experience of some friends of mine who walked the Camino de Santiago, this is probably not true, and returning home from the Camino can be a little bit hard and difficult and painful. And it's actually good to know that this can happen and that this is also quite normal and there's nothing wrong with you. And I think the reason why this happens is because you actually probably had a really good time there on the Camino. It's like a big adventure. You meet so many new people every day. There's a new environment. There's a new bed every day. And you move a lot, you are a lot in nature. And now you come back to your home. And maybe you don't have so many social contacts. Maybe you don't move so much at home. Maybe you are more inside and not in nature. And this can be, so you actually start missing these habits you had actually on the Camino. And another point is that on the Camino you may be thinking about stuff you want to change in your life, and maybe a relationship, maybe job, maybe friendships, hobbies, passions you care about, you want to start them again, or you want to change it. And coming back to your home place actually reminds you of your old life before you started the Camino. So the actual changes still have to be made, you know? And if you know this, then maybe it's a little bit easier to actually feel the after Camino blues, how some people call it, and to be able to slowly start changing things in your daily life and to move towards life where you are more the creator. And I wish you all the best with this. These were my 10 mistakes that I did or I watched people do on the Camino de Santiago. If you want to read more and learn more about Camino de Santiago, how it can change your life, how to prepare, maybe check out my blog or my ebooks and online courses in the video description, link below. And I say thanks for watching today. Take care, buen camino, and talk to you next time. Bye.